Cleo isn't actually a mummy. Okay, hear me out. While I think way too deeply about Monster High character designs. And today, we're tackling Cleo. So for starters, Operetta was supposed to be a part of the main six, but was replaced with Cleo. Because they thought most kids wouldn't know about the Phantom of the Opera, which, is fair enough. But also, doing a mummy feels sort of random too. Because everyone else is a pretty general supernatural creature, that's not tied to a real culture's religious practice. Okay, don't get me wrong, I love Cleo. Monster High really wouldn't be the same without her. But I feel like adding a ghost like Spectra to the main lineup would have made a lot more sense. But anyways, moving on. My first thoughts before refreshing myself on the Monster High lore was, it's funny, besides being rich and having access to ancient amulets, she's basically treated like a normal human. If she was a real mummy, wouldn't her limbs detach like Frankie? And she has mummy wraps in all of her outfits, but they always change location, so she can't be decaying that badly. But actually, all my questions have an explanation. Because, according to Monster High canon, their wraps are made from a magical cloth. The Denials thought these wraps were only meant to sustain them for a short period of time. In reality, it put them to sleep for 1,300 years. So they're not actually mummified in the traditional sense. And that's why Nephra and Cleo can move their wraps around with no problem. Because they're not decaying. They were kind of just being frozen in time, kind of like Walt Disney or something. I don't know, I like that take, it's really creative. They're kind of like Sleeping Beauty in a way, but this actually gives me more questions because why is their dad covered head to toe in the wraps? Because he doesn't need to be, what, does he just like the vibe? Is he actually decaying? I'm confused. Also, I think it's funny that her OG doll doesn't have an eye coffin. She comes with this, which looks like a BlackBerry phone. I guess she was made before they thought of the eye coffin design, I don't know. But actually, can we normalize these thigh phone holders? Cause why do I kinda want one? You can't tell me it wouldn't serve in the summertime. And lastly, I know Egyptian people can have a variety of different skin tones, but it would have been cool to see Cleo have a bit of a deeper tan. Oh my god. I did not notice how high up my Cleo's eyes are printed. But anyways, who should I think too deeply about next? Let a girl know in the comments below.